Hi guys, this is Dan. Welcome to Engelgeist. For those of you that are new, welcome. For those of you that are returning, welcome back. And for those of you that support me over on Patreon, thank you so very much for your subscriptions. This is the forecast, the daily forecast for the General Collective for Sunday, February 28th, end of the month, guys. Starting a new week. Day after the full moon. So we still have that full moon in Virgo energy at play too. Keeping that in mind, guys. It's all about releasing, especially at the end of the month. So perfect timing. So let's get into this. This is a broad spectrum reading, so it will be intended for a lot of people. So I will speak in broad terms. You have to kind of take what I say and apply it to your life wherever it best fits. If things don't fit or it doesn't make any sense, that's okay. It doesn't mean anything's wrong or not working. It just might mean that you might be working on something different at this time than the majority of the viewers that watch this. If you can figure out, or it does sort of make sense in a certain area of your life, whatever I'm sharing here, please feel free to utilize it in whatever way best suits you, but make sure that you're always using your own highest intelligence and intuition when making your decisions, okay? And never take anything that I say over that of a professional in their field, i.e. like a medical doctor, a therapist, a counselor, a lawyer. Always listen to them first and foremost, right? And then again, your own intelligence and intuition above anything that I may say, okay? But beyond that, this reading is here to support you and help you, validate you, and I hope that you enjoy it. If you do enjoy it, please hit the thumbs up button. That greatly helps the channel. Hit subscribe if you feel so inclined. You can join us every day. Hit the notification bell. Share this video out wherever you can, wherever you think it might best be utilized if you like this work. That greatly helps me if you share it to other social media platforms. And if you're watching on YouTube, feel free to go and follow my business page on Facebook, and vice versa. If you're seeing this on Facebook, please feel free to go and subscribe to my YouTube channel. Hit the thumbs up button over there. All right, so let's get into this. I'm going to pull three larger cards, each signifying for, about 1 to 2 days of the week, because this is a Sunday reading. So it will be indicating the underpinning energy of the week that we have ahead of us. And then from each larger card will be 3 clarifiers to sort of clarify what could be going on in more depth. Again, like I said, I will be speaking in broad terms, so it's not going to be like exactly specific. But if you're interested in a specific reading just for you, you can always contact me at the Facebook business page, and I can answer any questions you have about that there. All right, so let's see what's going on in these cards. This is from the week of February 28th through the 6th of March. So Pisces season full bore. Let's see what's going on now. We're in the middle of Pisces season. Well, not really the middle, but we're deep enough in Pisces season that we're going to be feeling it. So let's see what the cards have to say. All right, so our first card for the beginning of the week is that 7 of Cups. Okay, heaviness, depression. This is debauch, is what this deck calls it. Every time I see this card, and we've seen it a lot this month, it feels like a heaviness or a depression. I've certainly been dealing with some of that. I hope that that has nothing to do with me. I did separations before doing this video. Some of you guys might feel a little bit like in your emotions. This could just be Piscean energy too, because we are in Pisces season. Things might be affecting us in weirder ways or hitting us a little bit deeper than they normally would. Debauch is a strange word for this card. To me, I sort of feel like debauchery is like being up to no good and maybe sinking to the lower levels of things. And this traditional meaning of this card is usually about confusion, having one too many choices, not necessarily maybe knowing which road to pick or which route to take. So there could be some indecision or confusion here for us. It could be surrounding us emotionally. It could be indecision or confusion around, say, a certain situation. It could be a certain person, situation, work, that sort of a thing. So if you're starting out this week, or if you're heading in, this Sunday, if you're starting to feel, a little bit emotional, a little bit, who knows, maybe somebody's let you down, or you're feeling like, I don't want to get out of bed, or I don't want to deal with the world. That would be sort of like the vibe that I get from this card, right? Sevens always indicate making a conscious choice in a matter to me personally. And so it's kind of like we're choosing that so that we can move into the opportunity to find balance that we get in the 8. And so we may have to sort of choose or fight against our own emotional self, our own feelings, our own, to me, this card just, honestly, it feels like our asses might be dragging. I hope that's not too much just kind of where I've been at, but it sort of feels familiar. I do feel better today, but this reminds me of sort of how I've been feeling the last couple of days. So I don't know if maybe this is hitting you guys now, but let's see what's going on in the clarifiers. So we have the 10 of discs. I love this. Discs is about grounded energy, material gain. The 10 would be about a lot of material gain, like super wealth. It is, the word is wealth, by the way. But to me, there's a little bit of a balance there. 10s would represent sort of endings or chapters coming to an end, reaching a culmination or a climax in a certain area. I kind of want to look at what the other two clarifiers are, because this is sort of strange with the vibes that I always get from the 7 of Cups. The 7 of Cups always feels depressive and sort of slow moving, kind of like hanging in the balance. The 10 of Pentacles to me feels like really good things. So let's see what we've got. We've got the 4 of Discs, which is power. And we've got the 6 of Wands, which is victory. This is a weird combination. I kind of get, let me see here. I kind of feel like underneath everything, or we might be kicking off this week feeling a bit emotional, right? That's that 7 of Cups for sure. But the practicality of the 10 and the 4 say to me that we need to shore up ourselves and kind of keep moving forward. Stay focused on our goal. Stay sort of like working towards that goal. The 6 of Wands is usually celebratory. It's an achievement. It's a good card. So when I'm looking at all of this, it feels like as long as we can, I don't want to say stay out of our feels, but not allow our feels to overwhelm us in our day-to-day practical life, we can move forward, we can be successful. We just may not feel like we're at that place in the moment. Does that make sense? The overwhelming, feeling of that 7 of Cups seems to permeate everything. But so then we have to maybe, and this is just a suggestion, or maybe for just some of you, close up our viewpoint in a way with a situation or a person or something that's causing us, sadness or depression, whatever it is. We might need to get to the more practical matters of things, putting our nose to the grindstone. That's kind of that 4 of Wands there, that power card. 4 of Wands can indicate being a little bit miserly or stingy, but to me it feels like I love the wall that's built around here, the sort of fortressy feel. It's like we need to fortify ourselves, and that's also the 10 of Pentacles. We need to go after our goals. We need to not get caught in the heaviness of the 7 of Cups, right? If we do that, if we sort of maintain that balance of sort of material focus and practicality and measured thinking, that sort of a thing, I think that the 6 of Wands is ultimately sort of not the outcome per se, but the possibility of success is there for us, right? When I think about this full moon in Virgo that we're going through right now, we're still going to be feeling some of those effects. That would certainly be those 2 disc cards there, but we're in Pisces season, and I believe that Neptune is in Pisces right now. So that is also, and I know Venus is in Pisces too. So there's some stuff going on where there's, that might be the 7 of Cups energy, where we're caught up in our emotions, trying to sort things out, trying to figure out how we feel about a certain situation. That could be some of the confusion too, or the heaviness. Getting to a more practical, centered, grounded space, which is highly possible with this 4 and this 10, working towards our goals, not giving up on our goals, not letting our emotions sort of overtake us. When I'm looking at this and I'm sort of attributing this to myself, the way that I would interpret this is, okay, Dan, don't climb into the bed. That 7 of Cups would be me crawling into bed like I have been for, say, the last, 5 days. And get to work, put your nose to the grindstone, stop looking at the bigger picture, and look at what it is that you need to do work-wise to manifest a better sort of, maybe financial situation or work situation. It's there for you. And so whatever that is for you, if your material thing might be a relationship, a job, more money, it's there for you. That Six of Wands says that it's possible and there should be room or reason to celebrate, but we have to kind of balance things out. Does that make sense? Sorry to use myself as an example, but it's the best and easiest way for me to describe these cards because it's sort of a weird combination. Again, I don't know why, but I've been super kind of feeling weird about reading because I'm wanting to make sure that I'm not influencing these cards, but I am seeing some messages also that feel like they're for me as I'm reading them. So I don't mean to bring myself too much into the reading, but it is for the greater collective. So if any of you can use sort of what I'm experiencing and attribute it to what's going on in your life, please feel free to do so. Again, let's keep this focused on you guys. All right, so the next card is the midweek card. Let's see what that is. Okay, so we have the Four of Wands, which is completion. This is such a different depiction than what I'm used to. I like this. It looks like it's Aries energy. We see the sign for Aries, and then I believe isn't this the woman sign? I think or is this Venus and Aries? I'm not sure. Anyways, completion to me, Wands. This is about, to me, fours are always about stability. Wands is about that nature of fire, right? Spiritual desire, taking action, moving towards something. Again, the Four of Wands would be a celebratory card, kind of keyed into that Six of Wands that we see in the clarifiers in the previous run of cards. So if we are maintaining ourselves right in the early part of the week and not allowing what we're feeling emotionally, and I'm not saying deny what we're feeling emotionally, but there's things that we could maybe proactively be working on or working towards shoring up, maintaining whatever that action is for us that are going to lead us to sort of the small successes that we see in that Six of Wands. That completion or that Four of Wands is that sort of stability that we get in the midweek where we can kind of maybe hopefully push our desire a little bit more forward. That wheel, right? This card's depicted with that wheel. I feel like this wheel wants to move forward into the clarifiers and tell us more about what's happening in the midweek. So wands, again, are always about taking action, and that action is about like sort of passion, what we're passionate about, what we desire, what we want or need. The Four of Wands can sometimes signify the soulmate or twin flame card. I don't get that with this deck particularly because this to me does not feel in that way. But let's see what the clarifiers are. So we have the Sun, I'll take it. Definitely on the fire energy tip. I'm just going to roll out all the clarifiers. We have the Eight of Cups, which is this indolence. Great. And then we have, the Queen of Wands. Okay. She's not standing for anybody's shit. Look at her. Like, look at me. All right. So I'm going to say this is a little bit of potpourri of ultimately getting out of our own way in the middle of the week. The Queen of Wands, she is about not taking no for an answer. She sort of sees like she's standing there challenging us in some way, like face me, meet my needs, or meet my goals. The Sun is always an affirmative card. The Four of Wands would be an affirmative card also. So when I see all of this Wands and fire energy, Sun would be Leo. This is about like getting out of our own way and moving forward. That Eight of Cups, though, is sort of like we need to separate emotionally from something that's hindering us, weighing us down. And we see that again in the Seven of Cups in the early part of the week. There's some sort of emotional thing, for each one of you, it's going to be something different that kind of creeps in and gets us, right? And it's time to sort of step away from that or take action in other ways. The Queen of Wands, she will, because she's a queen, right? She is that element of the watery element of fire. So we still are allowed to have our emotions. Our emotions aren't to be denied. I'm not saying that. What I am saying is that the Eight of Cups usually indicates sort of being done with a situation. Having been so sort of like hurt or upset by something that you're just kind of like, okay, I can't do this anymore. I just need to move on. So for those of you that are getting that sort of emotional message from yourself, it's okay. Like, go ahead, move on. That's the affirmation of the Sun. That's the sort of rolling of the wheel that we see in that Four of Wands. This is about moving forward, stepping away, trusting our emotions and going after what it is that we desire, what we want, what we feel to be right for us, right? That dynamic energy of that Queen of Wands, she's not going to allow us to sort of like lay around in our misery. Does that make sense? I almost get a little bit of a foreboding feel from her. And the Queen of Wands isn't necessarily a foreboding card, but she's almost giving me Tower vibes in a weird way. Like, if we don't do it, she's going to do it for us. It's kind of the message that I'm getting from her right now. So in essence, if we don't sort of like get out of our own way, life is going to give us something that's going to move us forward. We get a choice here. That sun, the affirmation of the sun, the opportunity and the optimism of that sun, the energy that's there, and we see that energy in the Four of Wands and in the Queen of Wands. We need to harness it, take it, and use it. Be practical, take action, go after what it is that you want. It's okay to have feelings. It's okay to be sad. It's okay to be, sort of distraught, but don't let that stop you, is kind of the vibe that I'm getting with all of this. Like, these cards kind of seem to be expressing that, like, don't let that get in your way. All right, let's look at the end of the week and see what that has to say. All right, so we have the Emperor, Aries energy. Again, more fire, major arcana, sitting in a place of position of power, discernment, the benevolent love of a father. What's interesting to me is we have the Emperor's card, number 4, and we have the Four of Wands above it. So we're still in that stable 4 energy. I feel like we're, with the Emperor, though, we're even in a more stable place. We're in a place where we can see more clearly, where we can understand whatever it was that we dealt with in the midweek. The Emperor sees it clearly and understands sort of what the parameters are, the boundaries are, and expects us to sort of meet them. Right? There is no cutting corners with the energy of the Emperor. So when I'm seeing him here, the way I want to define this end of week for you guys is we will be hopefully ending in a place where we feel, I wouldn't say content, but certainly okay, in a place where we feel that we're aware of the bigger picture, we're aware of the work that we've done this week, we're aware of the steps that we've taken, we're aware of what our expectations are of others and ourselves, and they're very high, but we can meet them, and so should others. If they're not, then deuces, like, no more. That's that 7 of Cups, that's that 8 of Cups. It's like, quit doing this salsa dance with tragedy, is kind of the vibe that I'm getting, right? So if something's pulling you down into your doldrums, bumming you out, fucking your high, whatever you want to call it, don't let it do that to you, right? Make a conscious effort to take action towards something better, something that suits you more, that's something that you are more deserving of. Let's see what the clarifiers are for this. We have the 4 of Cups, luxury. This is such a beautiful card. We have, again, another 4. So we have a 4 there. We have the Queen of Swords. And then we have the 3 of Discs, which is works. All right. So what I'm going to say here is the end of the week, we end out in a far more decisive and clear state. We understand what it is that we want. We have to make decisions around going about getting it. We also have to maybe possibly ask or enable the help of others to do so. That would be the 3 of Discs. But moving forward into the following week, we might be really ready to employ the help of others. The Queen of Swords, to me, would indicate, again, we've still got that emotional thing going on. We've got the 4 of Cups there, which feels a little bit better to me, but it's not always, the 4 of Cups is not always the best card. It sometimes can be about boredom, sometimes about like not wanting to make a decision, that sort of a thing. But I love that that says luxury, right? And it's very lush card in this deck. So I don't get such a bad vibe from it. What I think is it's like we need to start to shift as we move into this position of authority, or sort of starting to like draw boundaries or lines as to what we'll accept and what we won't in the midweek. And taking action towards that Emperor energy that we experience at the end of the week really puts us in a position of power, right? And then we can feel like our emotions, that 4 of Cups, moving into the Queen, which is also a Cups energy of Swords, which would be about honesty, truth, making clear decisions, stepping out of the fog, no longer putting up with, whatever's going on around us that's no longer suiting us. Does that make sense? We're stepping away from that by the week's end. So by the weekend, we should be able to make clear, decisive decisions, have high expectations, also allow others in and rely upon them. That would be the 3 of discs. There's also a mind, body, spirit balance there that we could see manifested in the material world, either through our health, through our money, through our jobs. Like I always see 3s as that too. It's the culmination of, 3 things coming together. It can be 3 people, certainly with the 3 of Pentacles, that's always indicated in that card. So if we find ourselves allowing others in to help us through, that's okay, but they have to be willing to help us in the way that we need. And the Emperor will not accept anything less. So keep your awareness about with that too. What else? I just feel like it feels like a back and forth with ourselves and kind of getting clear, getting clean with something that's been bugging us or not quite right for us. And again, for each one of you, you're going to know where the feels are around that. It might be a different thing for each of you. Some of you, it could be a coworker. Some of you, it could be a relationship. But whatever it is, you're starting to hopefully find clarity around that, start to take action around that, and start to shift that into a space where it's more about you versus them or the situation. Now let's look to the grounding stone. Okay. The grounding stone is on carnelian, which is the root chakra, or I would associate with the root chakra with the red of it. So grounding in this would be knowledge, right? I love the red because of all of this fire energy that we see through this week, right? We see a lot of action cards. We see the Emperor, we see the Queen of Wands, we see the 4 and the 6 of Wands, we see the Sun card. There's a lot of fire going on here, but then we also have a fair amount of water, and water puts out fire. I do not mind, though, in a way, because there is some balance with that earth energy in the 10, the 4, and the 3 of Pentacles, right? So maintaining these focuses, staying balanced on our material gains, gaining this knowledge. The knowledge, to me, I feel like really arrives by the time we get to that Emperor at the end of the week. That knowledge it's about something, like my feeling when I'm looking at all of these cards together, it's about sort of working with our emotions to understand where we might get in our own way, or where others and our feelings around the behavior of others gets in our own way. And maybe separating ourselves from that through, in the beginning, productive things outside of ourselves, right? That would be those Pentacle cards. But then the 6 of Wands kicks in, and that's the beginning of taking action. By midweek, we're definitely taking action towards either moving ourselves away from these situations or towards new situations, acting in clarity, acting from a place of, shifting ourselves into that position of authority, becoming aware of not getting in our own way, right? Not allowing our emotions to sort of cloud our vision. We get to the end of the week by that Emperor. That knowledge, I feel like, is resting in that Emperor. We know what we need by that point, and then we act accordingly. The Queen of Swords helps to sort of keep that clarity, to make those decisions, to move us forward towards that. We still have the emotion aspect of the Queen and the 4 of Cups in there, but it's less in our way. Does that make sense? Than that 7 and the 8 of Cups that we see in the 2 runs earlier. And we're able to work with others to move forward in a productive manner, or to work with ourselves, with our mind, body, spirit connection, to move ourselves forward. Does that make sense? I hope that makes sense. The knowledge that we gain this week is going to really help us to probably progress through the following weeks to come towards our goal, or whatever it may be that we would desire, much more like capably and strong. So ground in this knowledge stone, or this idea of gaining knowledge about oneself through the emotions, even if it feels a bit icky at times, or a bit like it's getting in our way. Don't let it completely. Keep moving forward. Okay, that is your forecast for the week. I hope you guys enjoyed it. If you did, please hit the thumbs up button. Greatly helps me and the channel. If you're interested in a private reading, you can feel free to contact me at the Facebook business page. I can answer any questions there. The horoscopes for the month of March, they're going up late because I have been having a rough period, but we're seeming to come through the end of that. So keep an eye out for those. All of the fire signs ideally will go up in the next day, and I will see you guys soon. Thank you so much for tuning in, and please feel free to share this video anywhere and everywhere you think that it could be utilized or that where people might enjoy it. Share it amongst your friends and help me get the word out, because I'm trying to build the YouTube channel and create my dream. So thank you so very much and have a great day. Bye-bye.